Hey, welcome back, Brush Monkeys. This week I've got something I'm really kind of excited about. This is going to be a long-term project with a lot of aspects to it, and I'm kind of late to the party on this because this box set has been out for a little while now, but I just got it, so I'm pretty excited about it. This is the Realm of Chaos, Wrath, and Rapture box set from Games Workshop. This has two armies of Corn demons and Slanesh demons, and all the rule books necessary to run them all together. I got this in a special Infernal and Rapturous figure. I was really kind of excited to paint her. She looks really interesting, really kind of gross. She made this harp out of this dude's entrails. So today we're going to do an unboxing of this video, take a look at everything that comes with this, and see what's in the box. You know, in the immortal words of Brad Pitt, what's in the box? What's in the box? Alright. Like I said, I'm goofy excited about this, so bear with me while I open this puppy up here. Alright, so first of all, pretty awesome box art. And Games Workshop tends to put their stuff in these really nice, thick, heavy boxes. So that's always kind of cool. Gonna put that off to the side, and right off the bat, we have a ton of sprues. Oh my god, look at all these sprues. I don't even know what some of this stuff is. So apparently we've got blood letters on... Blood letters? Bloodthirsters? Yeah, Bloodthirsters is the big ones. Blood letters are the little ones. Blood letters on Juggernauts, and I've never painted the Juggernauts before. Back when I played Warhammer Fantasy Battle back in the day when I was in the Navy, the Juggernauts had just come out, and they were metal and they were huge, and I couldn't afford them. But these look really nice plastic. I've never built these things before. I've never painted them, so this should be kind of a fun little experiment to put these guys together. I've put the blood letters together before, and I've got a unit of blood letters, so that should be fun to put those together and see how those stack up. I've also, with the Slanesh figures, I've never painted a lot of these Slanesh figures before, so this will be fun to see how these stack up to the old, well, I can't say I've never painted them before. I've never painted demonettes. I've painted a lot of Chaos Warriors back in the day. I've painted a couple of these Flesh Hounds, so this is somewhat familiar territory for me. Let me get the camera back down to where you can see this. I've painted these guys before, but again, way back in the metal days. The blood letters themselves, I've painted these guys before. I'm kind of familiar with these. So I'm gonna show you some cool effects you could do on the swords on these guys, and a cool way of doing blood effects. When I get to that, I'll show you a really neat way I've learned how to do blood effects that I think you're gonna really like. These Flesh Hounds are like really, really thicker and meaner looking than the ones I had when they first came out in metal. So that's kind of cool. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Oh, nice smooth banner for doing freehand on there. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But it's also got this banner topper here that looks like it sticks onto the pole, but with no banner. So I'll have to decide which of those I want to do. Because part of me kind of wants to do some cool freehand on there. Part of me kind of wants to just paint the... Okay, so that's the Infernal and Rapturous, at least part of it, and that is really gross. Kind of pull the guts out of the dude. Another Flesh Hound. There's 5 Flesh Hounds and 3 Juggernauts in here, so there's a lot of cool stuff that I haven't gotten around to painting before. There's a lot of stuff I haven't painted in a long time. Stuff like these the demonettes that I've never painted before, and some of these beasts of Slanesh, I've never painted those. If I have, it was a long, long time ago, and they looked a lot different than they do now. Apparently there's, looks like there's 3 of those. 3 of the rideable ones, and then there's, looks like another sprue of the Beast of Slaanesh, which I've never painted anything. I don't think I've painted anything like that. No, I take that back. I have painted something like that. When I get around to assembling these guys and painting them, I'm going to dig out some of the old ones that I've got, so you can see how they've changed from the original metal figures to the newer plastic figures. For those of you who haven't been in the game for 20 some odd years. Old. Now, interestingly enough, the Slaanesh banner has a sculpted icon on it, so there's not as much room for freehand. The Khorne banner didn't have any icon on it. The Demonette heads look really gross. The Demonettes look like they've got a lot of really small parts, like all these little claw arms are just skinny. The bodies are all skinny. The legs are skinny. It's going to be like painting Eldar. Eldar was kind of a little bit of a pain painting Eldar. Skinny little females. Alright, so that's it for the sprues. Now we've got big Realm of Chaos poster art, which is kind of cool. It looks like the box art. And that's pretty nifty. And all the bases. Oh my god, look at all these bases. Holy hell. Bunch of oval bases, so I'm guessing all the Hounds, all the Juggernauts. Oh, they got small oval bases, they got big oval bases, they got huge oval bases. Got 3 different sizes of ovals just right there. I'm assuming somewhere in this is an instruction that says who gets what oval. Because, like I said, I'm a little out of touch with some of these. Been a few years since I painted some of these figures, and I don't think they had oval bases back in the day. When I played Warhammer Fantasy Battle back in the day, they all had... Warhammer was very much into regiments moving all at the same time and staying within base-to-base contact of each other, and so the bases were all square or rectangular. So dealing with this many ovals is kind of nifty, and there's probably going to be some interesting basing going on there, and of course a bunch of 25mm and 30mm round bases in there. We'll put those off to the side. A whole lot of bases. Oh my god. Oh, another big base. So bases after bases. Alright. Bear with me here, we'll get into the books. Yeah, this is exciting. I hope some of you watching this haven't actually gotten this box set yet, and so this is kind of new for you, because this is kind of exciting for me. Never been. Oh, look at that! We got so many books. Oh my god! Okay, so we got core rules. We got Demonettes of Slaanesh. We got the Seekers of Slaanesh. Those look good. Those are those animal-looking things, the rideable animals. We got Bloodletters. We got Fiends of Slaanesh. Those are new. Well, new in this form. Like I said, I'll pull out some old miniatures to show you what they used to look like. We got Bloodletters. The Bloodletters have changed a lot over the years too, because like I said, when I was playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle back in the day, they had the Bloodletters kind of looked like demon-like cats. They were all just kind of, down on all fours, and their backs were arched and all this kind of thing. And then I sort of got out of touch with miniature painting for a number of years, and that was right around the time of the really beefy bodybuilder kind of Bloodletters. They were just so, I'm sorry GW, they were so stupid looking. They just really looked bad. And these guys, I think, are the kind of the 3rd generation or maybe 4th generation, and they strike a pretty good balance between being bulky and muscular and being thin and fast moving. They look strong, but they still look like they're pretty fast, and they're not down on all fours. They're got a much more upright stance. So that I think this is their best design for Bloodletters so far. And then we got... Sorry, my video kind of cut out there for a second. So anyway, back to the Bloodletters. Next we've got the Blood Crushers, which are the Bloodletters on the Juggernauts. And it looks like we've got a champion there with 4 horns. That should be kind of interesting. Like I said, I've never built or painted these Juggernauts before, so this is going to be kind of a fun little difference between the two. Fleshhounds. There again, I'll probably pull out some of the old Fleshhound miniatures that I've got to show you what some of the newer ones look like, and you can see how they look, because that's pretty nifty. And Karanak, that looks like a three-headed Fleshhound. I was not aware that was in this one. That's kind of neat. I'm gonna have to go find that guy someplace. Kind of looks like Cerberus. And then you got the Infernal and Rapturous, the Herald of Slaanesh. So pretty good balance between Slaanesh miniatures and Khorne miniatures, so that's kind of interesting. You got this little thing, little fold-out dealie. This came with another one of the games. I want to say it's another one of the box sets that I got of the core rules for Warhammer 40k. It's just a really quick reference kind of card. Obviously, if you're buying these figures for Age of Sigmar, you don't really need this, but it comes in handy if you're playing 40k. Then, let's see, you've got... I don't know what any of this stuff is. This is new to me. This looks like a little bit of the fluff of the battle between, a little bit about Khorne, a little bit about Slaanesh. Oh, this is the background of all the demons and what they look like. Really nice little painting guide here. Slaanesh, all the rules about business about them. I guess this is just alright, so it's got a little table here that says why the two sides might be fighting, which is kind of neat. This looks like it's just fluff. It's like a fluff guide between all about Khorne and all about Slaanesh, and that's kind of fun. And then for Warhammer 40k, that's for just Realm of Chaos. And you got Warhammer 40k, you've got, let's see what this is. Oh, this is the data sheets. Because apparently all these demons, because they're demons and they come from the warp, they can be used for Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar. I keep wanting to call it Warhammer 40 Fantasy Battle because that's what I played back in the days. But you got all your rules, got your data sheets here for Warhammer 40k, game rules and missions, points values. Detachment roster, that's nice. Xerox that and use it. And then I'm guessing this is probably the same thing for the Age of Sigmar. And look at that, I love being right. War scrolls for the different war bands. And all the different little units and creatures and whatnot in them. Kind of interesting to go through these and see if units cost more in Age of Sigmar or 40k, or if they're both about the same. Or I played a couple of interesting games of 40k, well, of Fantasy Battle back in the day. I wasn't playing 40k, but I played Fantasy Battle, and we did a couple of interesting scenarios where we worked in some Warhammer 40k figures into Fantasy Battle games under the assumption that these futuristic warriors had landed on kind of a backwards planet where people had devolved back into the Middle Ages. This is the Age of Sigmar. Oh, this is the core rules for Age of Sigmar. So I guess this is roughly the equivalent of the little data sheet thing. There we go. Core rules for Age of Sigmar, core rules for Warhammer 40k. You got demon rules and points values for Age of Sigmar, demon rules and points values for Warhammer 40k, and all the background between both of them. So that's pretty neat. That's a lot of cool stuff over there. And then you got these tokens that I'm sure somewhere in the core rules it explains what these tokens are for. Looking at this off the top of my head, I don't know. It may be an Age of Sigmar thing. I don't think I've ever seen tokens used for 40k, but then again, I don't play demons in 40k. I play Dark Angels. So that's that. That's a lot of interesting stuff in there. A lot of cool stuff to go over. I'm going to leave that on top, and I'm going to leave these on top because I'm going to need those. And all the bases. Oh my god, all the bases. Looking to see if I had a Ziploc bag to put all the bases in. I do not. Okay, so put all those back in there. And that's it. You get you get a bunch of books. You get some core rule books. You get some neat poster art in there. And you get a metric ton of cool miniatures in there. I'm gonna now come to the fun part of trying to manipulate all these back into the box the way they're supposed to be, because I have no idea. Because somebody really did an amazing job of packing all this stuff. I gotta hand it to Games Workshop. They are on top of shit when it comes to packing these things. This is just ridiculous. Look at all this. I'm probably not going to get all this back in the box the way it is. But this is going to be a couple of months worth of projects, because I can tell it's going to take me a while to go through all this and assemble all these guys and girls and get them all painted up. But I've got another project in the works that I'm working on that's going to be a surprise for somebody that I'm having to record way in advance. And so I'm going to be working on that and working on this and trying to get everything in place. My videos are recorded way in advance, so by the time you're seeing this, it's been a couple of months after I actually got the box set, and by the time the other project airs, that box set will have gotten to the person it's supposed to go to. So a lot of logistics going into this, and hopefully I'm going to be shooting like 2 videos a week at this rate, trying to get everything done. So anyway, that's the Realm of Chaos Wrath and Rapture box set from Games Workshop. I've got a couple other little projects ahead of this, and then we'll probably shoot some videos on assembling these figures and painting them and getting into the fluff and some of the history behind them. I'll dig out some of my old Khorne and Slaanesh figures and some of my old Realm of Chaos books from when those came out back in the early 90s, and we'll take a look at how these guys have changed over the years. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos are posted, click on subscribe. Leave a comment below on what you want to see on future videos, and be sure to visit our Patreon site, our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. The links are all in the video description below. I'll see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.